Well, February stats are here, and yeah, I'm a little late in getting these out, but Miranda Ferreira with Century 21 Miller Elite, helping you find your Fernandina and looking at what is the real estate market doing in Nassau County, Florida. So real quickly, I'm going to kind of go over what happened in February of 26, compare it to 25, and then what we're seeing as a trend over the past 10 years. Some interesting points I do have to admit I was a little surprised at. So basically, February of 26, 96 closed sales, which was up from 89 last February. Closings obviously a little bit improved. Active listings were 728 compared with 689 a year ago. Months of inventory was at 8 months. So this was actually an improvement from last February and is actually up from the 5 months it was back in 2021. But we'll get to more of that in a second. So the median sale price in February came in around $567,000, up a bit over 3% compared to February of 2025, while the average price did slip about 6%, showing that there is some softening in that higher price categories for sure. So as we kind of start to get into this a little bit deeper, I did not want to miss talking about new listings. And we saw that inventory has increased, but new listings were at 187 for this past February compared to 172 a year ago. More homeowners are ready to kind of maybe make a change. Expired listings for the month were at 126, exactly almost where we were this time last year. Suggesting pricing and expectations have kind of come into alignment to where they were last year. So what is the year-over-year story? Compared to February of 25, buyers are seeing more choice, higher inventory, and new listings. Sellers are still able to hold some of their negotiating power, some pockets more than others, in terms of with the strong sales price. Time to sale remains reasonable. Days on the market and time to sale are up from the pandemic years, but still in a normal range when you look at the 10-year trend. Speaking of, let's go ahead and look at the 10-year trend because, we can't just look at the past 5 years because that includes COVID. Looking back over the full 10 years, we hit the 800s in 2016. Down to the 600 and 700 range most recently, with a small blip up in 2025 and 26. So we're kind of recovering. Closed sales for February generally have climbed to the 80 to 200 range from a decade ago, 100 or more in recent years, even as inventory is tightened. So what are we seeing? Still, the average over 10 years ago was still 80 to 100, but now we're seeing trending of 100 for February. Months of inventory for the month of February has moved from double-digit, strong buyer market levels in and around 2016 to around 5 months in 2021, and now it's back up to 8 months. What have we seen? So, again, kind of signaling a balanced market. New listings in February have hovered in the high 100s to the low 200s over the decade, while expireds have fluctuated but remain in that 120 to 170 range. Just reflects the different cycles that we've gone through. February prices, and as I kind of cheat here a little bit, February prices have gone overall higher over the past 10 years. I don't think that's news to anybody. Current median is in the mid 500s and days on market stretching back towards the more typical of what we saw pre-pandemic. For both buyers and sellers of Nassau County, what does this mean? Well, at least looking at February's alone, February 2026 is showing a more balanced market and healthier. So still pricing is supported, but more opportunity for both sides of the table. So I appreciate y'all taking a few minutes, and sorry it was a little wordy and a little long and lengthy, but I hope this is kind of interesting if nothing else. I am Miranda Ferreira, Century 21. Y'all have a fantastic rest of the day.